Hi, and welcome to the 29th floor. I'm Noah Robichon. I'm here with Mark Wilson, who is trying to convince me that the iPad has a future. I think it's going the way of my old Palm Pilot. It's going to disappear entirely.
It's no secret the iPad is not selling very well for Apple. The sales were down 18% this quarter versus the same time last year. However, that said, even if it isn't Apple's most explosive product, I still think there's a lot of longevity in this form factor.
But we should put, first of all, the number in context, which is that every other category of Apple's was up double digits, while iPads were down double digits. And I think what's happening is that the iPad is being squeezed out from the bottom of the market by iPhones that are getting bigger and bigger in size. And meanwhile, the MacBook Airs are getting lighter and lighter and thinner to the point where you look at it and you say, well, I could get an iPad, or I could just get this Mac Air that has a full keyboard attached to it and a lot of the same specs.
I see the argument. I agree. If you have an iPhone Plus, there's no way Apple is cannibalizing that market, right? The iPad Mini is not going to sell to that person. But I do think that at least some of the sales figures are due to the fact that people have bought iPads and they're still using them. iPads are good for years, not just 2 years like the cycle of cell phones, right? I almost feel like we're in a situation where iPads are becoming something more like televisions, right? Where we're not going to replace this at a normal basis. We might replace a tablet once every 10 years.
But I feel like another sign of it not having a great future has to do with actually the competitive marketplace around it. If you look at phones, for instance, hey, Apple's clearly the winner, but there are a lot of other phones to choose from. Tablets have not gone that way. I mean, basically either there's an iPad or nothing else. Most people, I think, are ditching the iPad, like the tablet market or even the phablet market. I mean, Windows is still out there trying to push one a little bit, but in general, everybody else is failing, and I don't think they're doubling down on it having a future.
I think we're getting held up on sort of market constructs and product constructs. And the fact of the matter is that I really think that sort of 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, I think that form factor is really powerful. It was around before iPads, and it will be around, I guess, after iPads. And whether or not we call that an iPad, or whether or not maybe your iPhone ideally could one day stretch to be the size of an iPad, maybe you wear a Magic Leap and it stretches a virtual display that large, I don't know. But I do feel like there is a longevity in that form factor. We've used it for millennia.
So we want to know what you think out there. Does the iPad have a future, or is it going to go the way of the Palm Pilot? Let us know at Fast Company on Twitter, #29th floor. Thanks, see you next week.